Hey everyone, welcome back to Cosmereology, where we discuss everything about Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere. As the Lord Survivor says, there's always another secret, and it's our job to uncover each of them. Today we'll be chatting about Allomancy. Allomancy is one of the three magic systems found in Scadrial. It gets the most attention of the three as well, since most of our main characters are Allomancers. Allomancers have the ability to burn or use metals that are inside of their bodies in order to fuel their magic. Typically, an Allomancer will drink a small vial or flask of alcohol with metal shavings in order to power their abilities. A person who can only burn one metal is known as a misting. If a person is born with the ability to burn more than one metal, they can burn all of the allomantic metals and are known as Mistborn. For an additional burst of power, Allomancers may flare or burn their metal especially quickly, consuming it at an accelerated rate, but gaining greater benefits in return. Individuals who flare their metals intensively for extended periods of time may be physically altered by the constant influx of allomantic power. These Allomancers are known as allomantic savants. These people experience heightened ability and dependence upon whatever metal they are burning in such a manner. The core 16 allomantic metals are divided into 4 categories: physical, mental, enhancement, and temporal. Within each of these categories, each metal is classified as either external or internal. External metals allow a misting or mistborn to exert control over their environment. Internal metals allow a misting or mistborn to exert better control over their own body. Now let's start with the physical metals: steel, iron, pewter, and tin. Steel allows an Allomancer to push on nearby sources of metal. Mistings who use steel are known as coin shots. If the metal weighs less than the Allomancer, then the metal will fly away from the Allomancer. If the Allomancer is lighter than the metal, then the Allomancer will be pushed away from that source of metal. This allows coin shots to fly through the air by pushing off anchored pieces of metal. Iron is the opposite of steel, and it allows lurchers the ability to pull on nearby metals. The same weight rules apply. When pulled, the lighter object will move towards the heavier object. Tin eyes have the ability to burn tin, which allows them to enhance all 5 of their senses. Tin eyes are often used as lookouts and scouts because they can see in near darkness. A major flaw of burning tin is that if a sudden loud noise or bright light appears, it can render a tin eye stunned for a short time. Tin also gives mental stability, allowing the person to utilize all of the information that it provides, and allowing them to assess a battle situation quicker than a normal person. Pewter arms, or thugs, have the ability to burn pewter, which allows them to greatly enhance their physical capabilities. While burning pewter, a thug can fight or perform physical labor longer than any normal person, and is also many times stronger than his or her normal self. This enhanced strength also allows a thug to shrug off wounds that would kill or incapacitate a normal person. Pewter burning also provides a thug with an increased sense of balance and vastly increased speed and dexterity. Now let's move on to the mental metals: zinc, brass, copper, and bronze. Rioters have the ability to burn zinc, which allows them to inflame the emotions of those nearby. This can be used to incite riots, hence the name, or to enhance any emotion of the target. A rioter can affect a single person or all of the individuals in a particular area. Soothers have the ability to burn brass, which allows them to soothe or guide emotions in a particular direction. Just like with rioters, a soother can affect either a single person or all the individuals in a particular area. Here's a fun fact: when one's head is being protected by aluminum or one of its alloys, he or she cannot be affected by the soothe effect of brass or the riot effect of zinc. Smokers have the ability to burn copper, which allows them to hide themselves and others from seekers by dampening allomantic vibrations caused by burning metals. The area hidden by a smoker is known as a copper cloud. Seekers have the ability to burn bronze, which allows them to determine if someone is using allomancy in the immediate area. With practice, an Allomancer can determine the location of the other Allomancer, which metal the other Allomancer is burning, and to what extent the other Allomancer is burning his or her metal. Next up, the temporal metals: gold, electrum, cadmium, and bendalloy. Augurs are able to burn gold, which allows an Allomancer to see what they might have been if they had made different choices in the past. This is rarely used due to possible severe emotional trauma and its questionable usefulness. Electrum mistings are known as oracles, and allows the Allomancer to see their own future, which cancels out the effect of an enemy Allomancer burning atium. Cadmium burners are known as pulsars. They are able to create a time bubble around themselves, causing time outside of the bubble to move faster than time inside of the bubble. Sliders are allomancers that can burn bendalloy. Like pulsars, they create a time bubble around themselves. However, instead of speeding up time outside of the bubble, they slow time down. And now let's go on to the enhancement metals: aluminum, duralumin, chromium, and nigrosil. Aluminum, when consumed, depletes all other metal resources of a Mistborn, leaving them without anything to fuel their Allomancy. This is a great way to ensure that a Mistborn is powerless. A Misting who can only burn aluminum is known as an aluminum gnat. Duralumin reacts to other metals within a Mistborn, creating an exceptionally large flare or surge of power. Doing this, however, causes the metal stores to be depleted. A Misting who burns just duralumin is known as a duralumin gnat, since nothing happens unless you're a Mistborn, just like with aluminum. Chromium is like aluminum but for other Allomancers. With this, a Leecher can deplete the metal stores of an enemy Allomancer, leaving them surprised and exposed. In order to do this, there must be physical contact between the Leecher and the other Allomancer. Nigrosil is the external equivalent of duralumin. With this, a Nitro Burst can target another Allomancer and cause their metals to flare tremendously. Like with chromium, there must be a physical touch between the two Allomancers for this to work. And those are the 16 common metals of Allomancy. In addition to those, there are 3 more metals, known as God metals. These are Lerasium, Atium, and Malatium. Lerasium comes from the body of preservation. It's a bead of metal that allows whoever burns it to become a Mistborn. The Mistborn's ability then also becomes genetic, allowing the power to be passed down through the generations. Instead of ingesting pure Lerasium, you could instead mix it with any of the normal 16 metals in order to create a misting of the metal used in the combination. Atium comes from the body of Ruin and is incredibly valuable. Burning Atium allows the Allomancer to see a few seconds into the future. This also enhances the Allomancer's mind and body to react and cope with these new insights and understandings. In essence, anyone burning Atium is invincible. However, there are 2 drawbacks. First, Atium burns very quickly, so you can't use it willy-nilly. Second, if your opponent is also burning Atium, both powers cancel each other out, rendering the power useless until one of the Allomancer's Atium supply runs out. And finally, let's chat about Malatium. Malatium is an alloy of Atium and gold, and allows an Allomancer to see what others might have become if they had made different choices in the past. This is commonly known as the 11th metal. And with that, you are now caught up with Allomancy. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have suggestions on which Cosmere topic I should cover next, please leave a comment below. While you're at it, go ahead and crash your car right into my subscribe button to keep up to date on all my video uploads.